Welcome to Muddy River News This Week, furnished by Harvey's. I'm Bob Gough. Rick Gengenbacher was with the Illinois Veterans Home in Quincy for 30-some-odd years. Not anymore, because he has joined the ranks of the retired, and he's our guest today. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
You performed a long and meritorious service for a lot of great people out there.
It's been an honor to be able to work at the home. I just feel blessed that I've been there. I still can't believe I was there that long.
Yeah.
But it was a blessing to be able to work there, and I still love the place.
You finished as the adjutant, correct?
Correct.
That was your last job there. You were the PIO basically before that for many years?
Right. I started as a student worker back in 1987, and then I was a recreation worker. One was my first full-time job, and then a public information officer. And then under the Edgar administration, they lost all the public information officers at facilities such as ours. And so then I was an executive one, they considered the director of marketing.
Right.
And then my last position is the adjutant at the home.
Yeah, you spent many years navigating the fine hoops of state employment, as I did for a couple of years, and it was always something.
Well, I say that you can get from A to B, you just can't go there directly. You have to do this, and you have to be patient. And but like I said, it's been a blessing.
Yeah, I was a political appointee under Governor Rauner, and then was released when Governor Pritzker took over. But then he hired my kids, so I guess we're all even there. So let's talk a little bit about first on the home. I mean, you were there just as the Troy Culbertson was dismissed. I know you can't really talk much about that situation, but I know you really enjoyed working for Troy and respected him a lot.
Absolutely, Troy was a great administrator. He's a good man. And I considered him a wonderful friend. It was a disappointment when he left, and of course, it would be dishonest to say that didn't have a play part when I decided to retire. But I miss him greatly out there. He was a great leader, and I know he'll be missed out there. He already has been in that, so it's a good friend, and we'll stay in touch.
Well, but the other thing is, though, I mean, you got some pretty important stuff still going on out there. I mean, they're the $250 million expansion and renovations to the facility, which is going to really make it, you already have all the good people who work really hard out there, but now you're going to have a facility that's really going to support them.
Yeah, it is. It's worthy of the service that we provide to our veterans there. And for the state and the taxpayers to make that investment in our facility and our community, it's truly noteworthy, and I've mentioned this before, it should not be mistaken. It should not ever be just assumed that that's going to happen there. So it's really going to fortify the home for the years to come as well.
And again, it's been there for so many years, over 100 years, and it's taken care of so many great people who served our country. And you're talk a little bit about your military service, if you will.
My military service was insignificant.
But still, you were in.
Right. I served in the Illinois Army National Guard and went in and, let's see, I guess it was I can't even remember now. It's terrible, isn't it? All I know, I was in boot camp. A lot of people remember this. Remember the fall of Berlin Wall?
Yeah.
I was at boot camp. I was in Fort Lost Leonard Wood, as a lot of people call it, Fort Lost in the Woods, and then out to Fort Lee, Virginia. Didn't even know about the fall of Berlin Wall, and then I think there was the World Series was going on in San Francisco and the big earthquake. Didn't know about those things because they don't exactly give you news when you're at boot camp. And we didn't have cell phones.
Didn't have cable.
Yeah, no. And so that happened at that time. So I went to boot camp, came back, and then went to officer basic course, earned my commission as an officer, and then jokingly say was a flood hero in '93, and then served a couple more years after that and got out. And it was an honor to be able to serve. And but my children I had a newborn, 2, 4, and 6, and it was time. And but like I said, it was a great blessing. I would say, outside of a decision to marry my wife, probably the best decision I ever made in my life was to get in the military, and it helped me grow and learn a lot of things that I wouldn't otherwise know.
And also, it helps you when you're relating to. I mean, again, you didn't storm Iwo Jima or anything like that, but you still went through some basics. This is the boot camp. You went through a lot of the things that these guys and gals who live out there went through, and they saw. A lot of them saw a lot worse than you did. Some of them didn't, but still, it gave you a chance to relate to them.
Oh, I think that's exactly right, and I never forget this. For a lot of the guys that lived out there, their military service was a part of their life, like it was for me, that they're proud of and they moved on. But for a lot of other guys, it was the pinnacle of their life. You don't think about this. We are a transient world now. I mean, it's not anything for you to go to Springfield and back in a day, but 30, 40 years ago, that didn't happen as often as it does now. And for a lot of these guys, the only time they ever left the county or the city in which they lived in was their military service. And so it was the highlight of their life. Maybe they've even had some rough life, some rough times, but they may remember their buddies they served with. They may remember their commanding officer or their NCO and so forth. So it absolutely helped me to see that and understand how that's important to them. And that's the one bond that we have out at the vet's home, right? And we never like to call it a nursing home, if that makes sense. And not to belittle any nursing home at all. But you think of a nursing home, anyone can go live in a nursing home. Only a few people that have earned the right can go live at the veterans home. And that's a pretty cool thing. And so that's that bond that all of them share, no matter what branch of service they served in.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's certainly one of the crown jewels of this community, and we shall be very happy and fortunate that again a lot of people stepped up to make sure it's going to stay here for a long time.
And you mentioned over 100 years old, 1886 when the home first opened up, and to see that and to see this construction now, again, the commitment the state has made to that, it's pretty cool.
Well, who's going to put together your newsletters that used to go out? Those, I mean, you used to crank those out, and I'd be out there for some story, and I'd always pick up a copy and flip through it and see, who'd been out there, whose birthdays it were. But you were the editor of that for a lot of years.
Yeah, I was that, and then towards the end, it got a little hard to get it
out
going on as other things kept coming onto my plate, and that kept getting pushed down a little bit lower. But I'm very happy. In my old position as director of marketing, they've hired a wonderful lady named Val Peterson, who's taken that over. She's doing a great job. She's going to be wonderful at that. I hope she won't shine too much over me, which I know she's going to do anyway, but she's going to soon get another bugle out, and her first one, and she's going to do great.
That's it. Well, let's talk. So, what are you going to do with all your spare time? I mean, your wife is going to, your lovely wife and 4 daughters right here on the screen. If she's not already tired of you by now, I mean, she can't. I think you're safe, right?
Yeah, I think so. Well, first of all, our clan has grown significantly since that photo.
Has.
All 4 of my daughters are married. Just on Thanksgiving, early Thanksgiving morning, we celebrated the birth of our 6th grandchild.
Yeah.
We're expecting our 7th. Our oldest, Carly, is due in January, so we're very excited about that. And what am I going to do? I'm still going to officiate high school basketball throughout the winter. That's my plan. It was Augusta last night. I'm going to Mendon tonight, and I don't know where's Missouri, Schuyler County, Missouri tomorrow. And so I want to continue to do that, and I've enjoyed doing that, and that'll get me out of the house, I think, every day next week, every night anyway. I'm going to go do that, and we'll see what happens. One of the things that was important to me is I thought about this as being my faith is important to me, and hoping to get to Mass as a Catholic a couple more than one time on Sunday. Sure. Be able to go at least a couple times a week, try to hit at least 3, if not 4 times a week. And so that was the first thing I did yesterday morning.
Nice.
And today is, I guess, I took a personal day yesterday, so today is technically my first day of retirement. But yesterday I got up, I can't say I got up real easy, but I got up at 6:30 in the morning, or I got up and went to 6:30 Mass at St. Francis, and hope to be able to do that a lot more now as well.
Well, that's great. And again, you do have more time to see all those grandkids and your girls, and be able to do that. So is Becky still working then, or
no? Becky retired a year ago.
Oh, okay, good.
Becky retired from the Department of Children and Family Services, where she was an investigator for 25 years. I dare say a lot more stressful than my jobs ever were at the vet's home. And so when she was eligible, she got out right away, and so she's really enjoying that. And she's full-time, Gigi, or grandma now, and she watches one of our grandchildren that's locally here 2 days a week, and she's constantly heading up to Springfield, where 2 of my other daughters live in the Springfield area, to watch one of the other 5 up there as well. So yeah, that's an enjoyable thing for her too.
And then you've got one daughter who I understand is a military wife, correct?
Yes, my daughter Kristen lives in Fort Worth, Texas, and her husband is in the Marine Corps. And so she's lived a life for about a year now as a Marine Corps wife, as he did all of his basic training, his officer basic training. He's an officer in the Marine Corps, and we're proud of him as well. Not
getting back in the shaved ice business then?
No. I miss that to a certain degree.
Really?
Yeah, being out in the community. I'm a people person. Yeah. I enjoy being out with people. I enjoy talking to people. And this always affords us that opportunity to go out and meet people and say hello. And and be a part of the different festivals and events and church picnics or whatever it may be. And so that part of it, I miss it, but I don't miss a lot of, some hard work sometimes. People, people think you own business, that it's easy and the money's just flowing in. Well, you don't do the work, the money don't flow in, right?
Very true, very true.
So anyway, but I will miss that, but I no plans to go back and do that.
You were also a former Adams County board member. Are you still doing the precinct committee stuff and that sort of thing?
I haven't done any precinct committee, but I am the supervisor for Riverside Township.
That's right, that's what it is,
The supervisor for Riverside Township. It's an honor to be able to serve my community, in a number of ways, and that's one of the ways that we do it. And, townships are important. Our big job is, keeping the roads maintained and getting the snow off the roads too. That's a big thing for a lot of people. And so I look forward to continuing to do that for maybe at least another year or two, see where that goes.
And any possibility of any other political office down the road?
I don't think so. I think that ship has sailed. And I did 8 years, I think, on the county board, and it was an honor to be able to serve there. And I believe that's my philosophy, right? You go serve and then you get off, and it's time for other people to step up. I don't believe, and I don't want to be critical of anyone in particular, but these aren't supposed to be careers in political, these serving in our political offices. I don't believe we're supposed to be careers, but that's just my view, and so that's why I did what I did. I'd get on and serve and be done with it.
You can go pound signs for Danny Brink. That's what you can do.
Danny Brink's a good friend, as you know that.
Well, hey, I want to thank you for the chat. This was a lot of fun. And again, you're just a good guy. And again, you've had a job in the community that's had a high profile. So when last week when you announced you were retiring, I thought it'd be a good time just to catch up and see what you were going to do, what your plans were. And so anybody who's watching high school basketball, you can see them out there. And again, thanks for everything you did for the community and everything you did for those veterans all those years.
Thank you for the opportunity to come down. And I want to say, if I may, for a second, I just want to say thank you to all the folks that have reached out through a text, through a phone call, through Facebook or whatever. We were talking about before we went on, I don't post anything on Facebook.
Yeah, this is an old picture. It's Rick's fault because I'm like, where's all the grandbaby pictures?
Yeah, maybe that's my lesson. I'll get something up. But
there you go.
But I want to say thank you. I'm so, and they had a little retirement reception for me, and I was so touched and honored to be a part of the home. And for the people that have reached out to me, I'm just in awe and I'm humbled by that. And I want to say thank you.
All right. Thanks again. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for having me.
That's all the time we have for now. I'm Bob Gough. See you next week.